Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Hi friends, my name is Janessa and welcome back to my channel, Books with Nessa. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the series that I'm hoping to finish in 2021. So we have quite a few books that are sitting in front of me. I just don't finish a series, and that is definitely a me problem. We're just gonna get to it. But with all the releases that are coming out in 2021 and how amazing a lot of them look, I mean, I'm gonna try my best, but like sometimes things just get backlisted, and that's okay. Let's just get into it. The first series that I have in front of me is Storm and Fury by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I do know there's a second book out. I'm pretty sure there's a third book out too, but I haven't read this series, obviously. I think it's gonna be good. And speaking of Miss Jennifer L. Armentrout, I do also want to read From Blood and Ash and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I've heard amazing things about both of these books, so I feel like I just need to get to it, read them. Her third book has already been announced. I'm like, girl, you pushing out so many, I can't keep up. Next series that I have is the 5th season. I've heard amazing things about this one as well. It's a Hugo Award winner, so that means something. And I'm just excited to start these eventually, especially because I've been in such a fantasy mood. Like the whole time I've been on booktube, I've been in a fantasy mood, which is pretty surprising for me because before all I was really reading was contemporary, but I've been having a great time. That's why pretty much all these books in front of me are fantasy books, and I'm not mad at it one bit. I have the Shatter Me series, which I did read this book. It was a fun time. It was what it was, but I do want to finish the series just because I have the series. I want to keep reading about Juliet and the other two people, and I think the one that we all like is Cal. I think that's what his name is. I could definitely be wrong, so like, please don't come for me for that. His name is Kenji. I'm definitely thinking of Aurora Rising when I say Cal. I loved Cal. Cal was great. The next series that I would like to complete is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I have Cinder. Cinder is definitely in my plans to read earlier in the year so that I can continue the series, but I'm starting to really be interested in reading these retellings of fairy tales. And so this is like the first one that I have. Also by Miss Marissa Myers, I have Renegades. I've heard some mixed feelings on this book, but I'm just wanting to go in and see what I think about it myself. Like always, we know I don't know anything. I never know. Secret identities, extraordinary powers. She wants vengeance. He wants justice. Sounds good to me. Now this next one that I have, I'm actually really excited about, and I was debating if I should read it in December or if I should wait till like January, February to read it, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I've read books by Bridget Kemmerer. I read her contemporary books, and I absolutely love them. So going into her fantasy work, I'm excited for. I have high hopes for. I remember this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and Beauty and the Beast was always one of my all-time favorite Disney princesses. I think it's going to be a fun time. This next one that I do have, at first when I bought it, it was because of Mel over from Mel Reads and Sid from Sid Bookworm, and I was like, I trust them, so I'm gonna get it. But I've also heard good things about this series, and that is Scythe. All 3 books are out, so it's almost like I have no reason as to why I haven't read them. I just, I haven't read them, but that's gonna change. Next year, we're gonna get her done. I am actually buddy reading this book in January, so we're already off to a good start. The next series that I would like to finish is actually a long overdue reread for me. I remember absolutely loving them, and so far I've still only read the first book, but that is the Vampire Academy series. I own this series. Also Bloodlines, which is the companion series. I remember really enjoying these books when I was in middle school, high school, and so I just want to relive my childhood. I mean, I always loved Rose, I loved Lissa, I couldn't stand Dimitri, I loved Sydney from this book, I loved that Adrian was in this book. It was a fun time. It was a different take on vampires, and I'm just here for it. Speaking of vampires, I have another series that I would like to finish next year. I'm like 3 books away from the end of the series before I move on to like the companion novels and like the side series, and that is the House of Night series. This is a 12-book series, and we're following Zoe Redbird as she's pretty much trying to save Tulsa along with her friends, seeing how she is the first fledgling to have been connected to all of the elements. And since we seem to like be on a trend, I might as well bring up this next vampire series that I'd like to finish, and that is the Midnight Breed series. This is an adult paranormal romance type thing going on. I've to this day have never completed the series, and I started reading these in like 7th or 8th grade, and then I'd stopped reading them I think like my junior year of high school. But there's just so many books. There's 23 of them, and I know it's a lot, but like I'm into it. There's just so many different characters, and then we see some of the old characters making appearances, but it's not about them. The next series I have in front of me, I feel like, okay, let me preface that I've seen the movies and I enjoyed the movies for what they were, but I'm also like, I don't know. But that is the Hunger Games series. I have all 4 books and have to this day yet to have read any of them. I got this book, the little prequel. I got it, I think, the day after it came out. My grandma actually surprised me with it. But then I was like, man, I should probably read the series. And I just haven't. I haven't felt the need, the urge, the want to pick up this series. Maybe I should go watch Peyton Reed's video on why PETA is so great. Maybe that'll make me want to read these books. Next, I have Truly Devious. I'm reading this one in December, so I would like to read the other 2 books early on in the new year, because I do know that there is a 4th book coming out. You also don't have to read these 3 books to read the 4th one, but me being me, I feel like I need to do that. I gotta read them in order. These next 2 books I feel are also long overdue, but with this one, I didn't get the series until someone was like, Janessa, read Sarah J. Maas, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. So that is Throne of Glass. You can barely see that, thanks window. As well as the ACOTAR series. I've heard some mixed reviews on both series, so I'm kind of hoping that I like them, seeing as how I bought the entire series. I'm hoping I'm not led astray, and that I will soon be trash for Sarah J. Maas. The last book that I have on, not the last book. The second to last book that I have is Aurora Burning, which is the 2nd book in the Aurora cycle. I really enjoyed the first one, and I think that's because I listened to it on audiobook, and with the full cast and the mixed media that they had in it, it was amazing. I just need to get back into it. Now, the last book that I have is my very first Brandon Sanderson book, and that is Starsight. Now, when I bought this book, me being the smart person that I am, I thought that this was the first book, even though it says it's the sequel to Skyward. And for the longest, I still thought it was the first book in the series. So I have yet to read this because I have yet to pick up Skyward so that I can read this. We love that for me. That is going to do it for today's video. There's quite a few series that I'm, maybe I'll be able to get to, but also like I doubt I'll be able to get to all of them, but your girl's gonna try. We're gonna see what I can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like it if you want, and I'll see you in the next one.